Man, glad to be back after a short hiatus. Everybody, welcome back to Black Friday, where these opinions are not for sale. And this week we got a special guest here. We got Madison from California. And as usual, my name's Christian. We got Omar. We got Chris. Man, glad to be back. It's the layoff wasn't expected, kind of needed. It's kind of heat of the moment right now. Semester's heating up, and we're looking to close out strong while we're all hard at work. But man, Madison, if you wouldn't mind, introducing yourself, let us know what you do, and what do you got going on?
Yeah, so I'm Maddie, Madison Marks Noble, really long, obnoxious name, but I am the California Regional Field Coordinator for the Leadership Institute, so I help all the conservative college groups in California, which there are actually a lot of, I promise, and I'm based in Fresno, California right now, so I'm in the thick of it, but we're a red county, so it's pretty much a safe space, I guess, but yeah, I've been traveling around and kind of seeing what's going on, and it do be crazy out here, to be honest. So.
Yeah. No, my sister still commutes back and forth from Fresno back to good old T-Town, like just about every week. So, yeah, I mean, I know, right? It's a great time living out there. But no, thanks so much for joining us,
man. Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, of course, man. Man, how are we feeling? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and we haven't, been on to kind of discuss it all. As usual, I love bringing up the glorified home state, the People's Republic of California. They are now they have exceeded the threshold of signatures needed to recall Gavin Newsom. They're expected to hit those quotas even with thrown out signatures. Maddie, what's it looking like, on the ground out there in California? How are people feeling?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's been a lot of different polls. There's been a lot of different things I've been seeing. So, I know a few months back when they were talking about the recall, there was a local station in LA, and Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, she's like hardcore leftist. And they brought her on to talk with like probably some middle of the road conservative or someone who's kind of right of center. And they were like, so tell us your opinion on the recall. And she's like, well, I mean, if you guys are trying to get an opinion out of me that I like Gavin Newsom, then you're wrong. Like, I'm totally on board with the recall. So there's like this false narrative that it's like a Republican run effort, but there's actually a lot of Democrats and even no party preference, which is like a lot of people that are, want a recall and they're just done with it. And I think COVID really pushed everyone over the edge.
I think it did too. There's some people that I know from back home in the good old 209 that are liberal as ever, as get out, and they 100% want Gavin Newsom gone. They're absolutely tired of him. They can't stand anything. I think at this point they'd take a dog over Gavin Newsom in the office for governor, as long as they couldn't some restrictions. I mean, yeah, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's transcending party lines and affiliation here. People just want to live.
Amanda. But yeah, like they looked at some of the data from the signatures they collected in LA County. 52% were Democrats that voted to recall or signed the petition at least. So there's a good chunk of people. So I'm pretty confident that Newsom will be recalled. The question is who's going to replace him.
That's the big question I wanted to ask, and I just wanted to ask, like, do you think it's actually feasible for this to happen? What's that going to really look like? How is this going to break down? Like, how's the election going to, like, how is this going to look? Explaining it. It's like, how's the recall going to go? How do they select a candidate? And who gets to, take over if this actually goes through?
Yeah, so basically anyone can run. I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be like 20 to 40 people on the ballot. I know back when Davis was recalled and Arnold Schwarzenegger got in, there was a ton, like if you looked at the ballot. But what happens is there's would you like the governor to be recalled, yes or no? And if you vote yes, then you go select a candidate from the list. And from what I understand is that there's no runoff. So it's whoever gets the most votes gets in. So, it's going to be interesting to see, but I guess because I think the main Democratic candidate that'll be running is Antonio Villaraigosa. He was a former mayor of LA, and he says he's moderate, kind of. I mean, in California.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because he's an older Democrat. So maybe he's not maybe he's not as socialist as some of the others, but everyone eventually sells out. And then we have the lieutenant governor will probably run, of course, because he's the lieutenant governor. And then we have like 4 or 5 different Republicans that have put their hat in. But the hope is, even if we get in a Democrat after we recall Newsom, their term only lasts until 2022, so we have a chance to either reelect that person or put in someone new and try again.
I mean, I think time is essential here, so I think it's got to be done sooner rather than later. Chris, what does moderate mean to you in California? What do you think? What do you think moderate?
Moderate definitely just means like, look, I don't believe that healthcare for all is that. You know, they're probably pretty progressive, like socially thinking like transgender story time is probably pretty chill with them, you know, having their grandkids like sit on non-binary Santa Claus in December or whatever. Like it that's probably what it is in California. Like, look, I've never been to California, honestly, not planning to. No offense, I know you guys are from California, but it's the state's just not looking too nice right now. But I am jealous. I'm very jealous that Democrats and Republicans in California could come together and sing Kumbaya and recall Gavin Newsom, because I'm from Michigan. Gretchen Whitmer is my mortal nemesis. I would very much like to recall her, but that's not going to happen. She actually might even win another term because she is very popular amongst Democrats for God knows what.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I mean, does moderate mean he only supports wearing 2 masks instead of 3 out in public? I mean, like, what moderate in California? Moderate California, like what does that entail?
Honestly, I think if it's not a politician saying they're moderate, a moderate person in California is someone who has no idea what's going on, and they just vote for whoever's name they hear the most, to be honest. I think the same people who are moving to Texas, who are fleeing, because they're not making, for me, I think they're not making that connection in their brain that here's a certain candidate of a certain party. You know, sorry to say it, most of the candidates have the same agenda from that party, and I'm going to vote for this person. Why are my taxes so high? I don't understand, but I'm still going to vote for that person from those parties. You know, or I'm going to vote for those people from that party. So, you know, there's no connection, and then they move away and they vote the same. So I think it's just like a lot of ignorance and not really paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know. Californians go everywhere and just ruin things. I'm sorry. They do. I'm an anomaly. I don't vote that way. I like to, wherever I'm at, I like to become part of that state. Actually, not be a Californian.
So you're defending your flee to Florida?
I'm a Floridian. I'm not a Californian. I'm a Floridian. I'm embracing this 100%. I'm doing things as Florida people normally would, normal, rational Florida people normally would, I'd like to think. And I love freedom. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard to me. I mean, candidate-wise in California, who are we looking at? We got Major Williams, I've seen, Earl Weber. Who's the one that's getting backed by the GOP, or it looks like it's going to get backed by the GOP?
So I was just a delegate for the CAGOP convention that happened in March or end of February, early March, I can't remember. But they haven't really endorsed anyone yet, and I don't think they will until the actual recall happens, like the ballot comes out. I'm anticipating they're going to back Kevin Faulconer just because he's the former mayor of San Diego. He was a city council member, and then he actually won in a recall when they recalled their mayor. And then he got reelected, and then he termed out. So the people of San Diego really liked him, and I thought he did a pretty good job cleaning up the homeless. He's very focused on housing. Do I think he's the most perfect candidate? Does he align with everything that I believe in? Not necessarily, but I think he is the most poised to win. Major Williams is another, like, hey, I listened to him speak a couple weeks ago. He's good. You know, he's cool. He gets people excited about being a Republican, I guess. He's very, like, he's more in line with my values for sure. But, you know, he ran for mayor of Pasadena in, I think, either 2020 or 2018. He didn't win. I can't remember.
I don't even know if he filed in time.
I thought he did. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. But, I mean, I would put my faith in someone who's won.
I think that's what, I think his campaign ran out of funds. I think that's
yeah. I mean, he should run for state assembly. He'd be great. Fix our state.
Yeah, my whole thing is I'm not knocking the guy because I met him. He's fantastic. He's
awesome.
I know. I think he's fantastic. I just wonder at times if the next step is after losing a mayor race to go straight to governor is like, hey, maybe let's get a dub in here somewhere, let's win, gain some credibility, gain some ground with the people, and then let's make that big push. I think it'd be fantastic. I just don't know if it's happening. And that's
it's like all these people that are coming out to run, like Candace Owens and people on Ben Shapiro to run. It's like, run and fix your local community first, and then then we can work on, fixing the nation or whatever you want to do. But I think like over these last 4 years, people have focused really on federal policy and federal politics, and they're not looking towards their governor's office or their mayor. And it's like, let's fix your community first before you go out and try and, win it all.
Chris, plug your message. I know you want to say it. What do you always tell everybody, Chris?
Exactly. Everyone needs to run. Honestly, young people. There are so many people, and doing what we all do, working with college students, we see a lot of passionate young people who want to run someday. Don't run someday. Run now. Run for something that you can run. If you're 18, most places you can run for office. Not Congress, not for president, but you can run for something. Whether I know in Michigan at least it's 21 to run for the state office, but you can run for mayor and city council in most places at 18 or at 19, and you can really make a difference. Then run for school board, run for mayor, run for anything, and make a difference, because it starts with you. It starts with your community, and then we'll move up. You really, like you guys are saying, stop making the jump and say, I'm just going to go straight into Congress. Like, everybody and their mom wants to run for Congress. It's not that easy.
Omar, what are you thinking about the race?
Man, as I followed this entire debacle, I'm heartened that Democrats and Republicans in California can agree that Gavin Newsom has used his powers. He's abused his powers. That's what I meant to say. He's abused his powers. He's abused the office, and that he's allowed government to take control of California's lives. And California does not want that. Yeah, a lot of Californians may want the Medicare for all and all of this other stuff, but as in restrictions, yeah, they don't want to be restricted with certain restrictions. So I'm glad to see this recall happening. I wish we had recall laws in every state. I wish we had them in Georgia and in Mississippi. I like for a whole bunch of people there to be recalled, but I'm glad that Californians are waking up and realizing, hey, all of this government overreach is not really good.
It's not, and people need to be held accountable. And the state of California, as crappy and everything as it is an example across the country for things that happen. If something good could actually come out of that state, I think a lot of other places might actually follow suit. And just like in Florida, when Florida does really great things, a lot of other people follow suit too. So if Florida keeps doing great things and California finally turns the corner, I think great things could happen across the country. We can get rid of tyrannical leaders, people that want to shut down everybody's livelihoods, ruin their small businesses, their dreams, their aspirations, and send older people in that are COVID infected in their nursing homes and kill grandma. I think we could turn the corner here. I really think we could do good things. I honestly think we could make it happen. We're going to stay into California here just a little bit longer, but as you all know, the Oakland mayor has announced that 600 families will be receiving checks of $500, to help with financial assistance. And, only if you're a Black, Indigenous person of color, BIPOC. I don't know how you pronounce that crap, but it's really, really interesting that white families need not apply because I guess it's just different. If you're in Oakland and you're Black and poor and white and poor, I guess in Oakland we all live in the same street. It's still different. So I'm not exactly sure what to think here. California, surprising? No, but it doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, it is. It's really unfortunate, honestly. When I first read this story and saw BIPOC, I was like, is this like Tupac's like off-brand cousin or something? Like, it's really stupid. But the fact, and this continues with the left, that apparently only people of color need government assistance. And that is, again, a crutch that white liberals and white saviors want to keep putting on people of color and saying that we're the only ones that need it. automatically a victim. We're automatically behind, and that's not always true. White people who make $20,000 a year should be prioritized in getting government assistance rather than black people who are making $45,000 a year. Like, just because they're black does not mean that they need that $500 more than white people. White people don't get a check in the mail. I'm half white. I wish I got at least $250 a month, but like, that's not how it works. Trust me. I've never gotten a check other than this last stimmy. Thanks, Joe, for that. You know, but other than that, government's not sending me checks just because of my race or whatever. So this is just another instance of the left just being racist. They don't want to end racism. They just want revenge on white people. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're living in Oakland, you're probably not necessarily living there by choice, whether you're black or white. And there's actually a lot of Asian people in that community as well. So, you know, it's not only the black people in that community that need help. So definitely super targeted, racist. You know, it's near San Francisco. That's where all the worst policies come out of if it's not LA. So
Honestly, you guys, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I feel like they want to try to mask this as like COVID assistance, but really, if you, it really is their twisted way of trying to do reparations. And if a city is going to do reparations, okay, then do reparations, but go on and call it that, and then come out with a system of expanding that.
It's just to buy votes. It's just buying votes. It's just literally to buy votes. It's literally to go re-elect the mayor and whoever else is running that crappy city council, keeping those people down the whole dang time. It's just, hey, here's $500, cash another vote. You know,
But if it's only going to 600 people, I mean, I don't see 600 votes making a difference in there.
600 families, but also I feel like there's got to be. If I look at the whole thing here, I guarantee that there is a bill sponsored here, and that there's other money going somewhere else with it too. And I think you can be sure of that happening as well. I don't know where, but I'm guaranteed there's always money going somewhere else. I've never seen a bill like this or anything where money goes directly straight to people and that's it. Since when? Never. I've never seen it. Ever.
yeah, there's definitely some catch somewhere.
There's got to be.
No, I can believe that. But if they're going to do something along the lines of reparation, just call it that. And then we can deal with that separately. But they're trying to mask it. And then, like you said, there is a catch to it. But I don't like the non-transparency. Everything has to be transparent. Government should be 100% transparent. I want to know what my government is doing. I want to know where my tax dollars are going towards with everything. You know, there are some crazy experiments that are in the budget, that are line items in the budget. Nobody reads them. And this is federal, state, and even local. Line item issues. Like, they may give $30,000 to some random festival in Alabama. That's tax money that is being used for something stupid. Government needs to be 100% transparent, and Oakland and its mayor is not being 100% transparent. They're just being woke, as they call it, woke, whatever you want to call it.
That's all this is being woke. And, you know, just doing the math, I had to use a calculator because I was not a STEM major, but $3.6 million a year. That's what this is. $3.6 million a year. What happened to wanting to, like, fix the black community, fix the urban community, fix the BIPOC community, whatever? Like, invest in that. Stop giving people money who don't have money. It's like, and this may be a shocking concept, but people who don't have money generally are not very good with money. So
it hurts to say it, but yes, it really hurts. People are like, oh, you're an a-hole, you're insensitive as ever. Like, I mean,
but it's true. I mean, like, honestly, like, to be fair, if I'm going out right now, like, I was at the mall a couple days ago, line for the I think it's Louis Vuitton store, out the, like, down the hall. I wonder why. What happened this last week? Everyone got their stimmy. Like, I thought this was like, I get it, stimulate the economy, whatever. But everyone's who's always like, oh, I need more money. You know, I can't afford this. Like, well, you got a Louis belt, you got Gucci shoes on, you got the Gucci flip flops. Like, you're not very good with your money. And so the government needs to stop saying like, well, I'm just going to give you money. How about you like use that money to invest and maybe fix the community? There's usually no public transportation in Black and brown communities because of the crime rate. Use it to actually maybe better train police so they stop shooting Black people. Like if that's a problem the left always talks about, maybe instead of defunding them, maybe we should just train them a little more to stop popping rounds if they see a cell phone. Like that might be a better use of that money. Personally, in my belief, I think people on the left could really get into that. Stop giving money to people who don't have money because they're not gonna use it right.
I mean, it's the same concept with like BLM. Where did all that money go that they raised? Did it improve any Black people's lives directly?
Actually,
white politicians.
It improved Uncle Joe's life a whole bunch.
What was it, Omar? It was Georgia and Atlanta. Their Black Lives Matter. They burned all that money on strippers or something. I believe. I can't remember. I gotta go look it up.
I wish I could be surprised.
I gotta look this up. I gotta be sure.
I'm in the wrong organization. No, I'm just kidding.
You could be a millionaire if you're a part of BLM Inc.
Yeah, there you go. Just get my chunk of change.
Well, now wait. Is it regular strippers or transgender strippers? Because you know the women that created
strippers are strippers.
They're either trans or gay or something. Which
all BIPOC.
It doesn't bother. Which if they're gay, it doesn't bother me as much as them.
Okay, I got it. I got you guys right here. So it says the Black Lives Matter in Greater Atlanta was indicted for spending his donations on a house, guns, and prostitutes. So I mean, you know, you got the trifecta there.
At least if we're gun rights.
Yeah, woo, Second Amendment.
You know,
Second Amendment, and then the Third Amendment, which is you have the right to spend money on strippers. I guess you know.
Now,
that's going to be in the new Constitution.
Yeah, when they recall the current one, they're gonna put that in. Yeah, I can't wait. Fourth Amendment, healthcare is a right.
Yeah. Now this dude was charged with 3 counts of money laundering and 1 count of wire fraud. I mean, and that's just one Greater Atlanta's BLM. Okay. You think the money was spent right anywhere else? Can anybody tell me that they legitimately think that money was spent right somewhere else? I don't. I genuinely don't think it was. It's a shame. I don't think any of it was spent where it's
because you know what would be great press aside from protests? Great press would be BLM donates, you know, $1 million to the YMCA in Oakland or whatever. You know, like some like community resource. Or builds a community center in Chicago. Like nothing.
You don't even know. You don't.
But they could have gave to Obama's presidential library, which is supposed to be helping out the community and helping kids get off the street, do something with music and all of that other stuff. We're just great. Chicago.
I'm going to be a rapper. Thanks, Obama.
But still, Chris. Now that's positive reinforcement. But at the same time, Black Lives Matter, like you all were saying, is not doing that. They're not giving to charitable organizations. They're well, in this instance, they're spending it on strippers.
I think the best thing would be, like Christian said, Boys and Girls Club, things like that, where it's like a lot of people in the Black community, myself included, did not have a father. Like that's such a great resource to have, is just a father. Money.
Well,
use that
BLM
money
is trying to, you know, dismantle the nuclear family.
Yeah, that's true. You need 2 mothers now. It's going to be like, or you need a transgender dad.
It just takes a village. Yeah. The whole community.
It's like a commune situation where everyone raises the kid.
Yeah, and then everyone afterwards, you get together and.
Well, the whole thing is look who's in your community. You want the people in your community raising you. Look around, and then you see Pookie Earl down the street over there. Like, you know, like you want Pookie raising little Jerome. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you want him. I don't think you want the dude hanging out behind the overpass that's shooting something up there. Like, no, like this whole it takes a bit. Some people aren't in good villages, so I don't think that analogy holds. You know, it takes that's a bad village. There's bad people around you. You know, everybody just has great influences all around. Like they just make it sound so good. It's not that easy, man.
Now, you know what they need to use the money for? They need to give it to the cities. They need to donate it to the cities and put on the memo, on the check, fix potholes in these big cities that are run by Democrats that have a whole bunch of Black folks in it. Like Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, There's a whole bunch of potholes, and every time I go into Jackson, I need a new tire because of doggone potholes.
But is that the greatest issue facing the Black community?
It's not.
Potholes are
but it's constructive. What I'm saying is,
no, I get it.
Potholes are systemically racist in this society.
It's forget black on black crime. It's street on black crime. That's what it is. The streets are killing us. And literally, the streets are killing us.
Pothole flat in the brother's tire. Brother couldn't get to work. Brother became.
Well,
look at that. Look at that.
People in Jackson, they do have a lot of deaths in Jackson just because of the potholes. I promise you.
Well, Michigan is like the 49th and worst roads in the country. Like I've seen cars get swallowed by potholes. Actual cars. Like this is a thing. I've seen kids swimming in potholes. That's how big they get in Michigan.
Swimming?
Like, yes, like swimming in potholes. I went down a side street in Detroit, and I had to literally turn around, do a U-turn, and go the other way because the pothole took up that much of the street. I could not drive past it. Like
and I thought our roads were bad.
It's a reality in Michigan. So honestly, like, I'll send you guys.
We have that great gas tax trying to fix it. So
that's what Whitmer wants to do. 60-cent gas tax.
Ours is 79 cents as of July.
It literally goes into the general fund. It doesn't even go to fixing the roads officially. So that's where Cal messed up. People still voted for.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the Secretary of State manipulated people and caused them to vote for the wrong things.
Mm. All right. So speaking about government transparency, because Chris are speaking explicitly about this, Ted Cruz was looking for some government transparency when he took a trip to the southern border. The southern border where there's no crisis happening. Of course, there's no crisis on the southern border. What? Oh, it's a myth. It's a myth. So, got this dandy of a video here. Let's see if we can load this thing up.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor, you hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the
the
political
rules.
leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the
You
rules,
keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give the
American people
people
in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well, no,
Dignity
it's
and
not. You're
respect.
asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and respect
pandemic.
to the people.
So let me
I
ask you, if there's a
I
pandemic,
respectfully ask you, sir.
there is a pandemic. Is this
Full-hearted,
respecting the rights of
Wholeheartedly,
these
I
kids?
ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
as such.
dangerous place,
Please don't treat the
and
people
your
like this.
policies,
That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed when 18
I ask
senators
you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect
respect.
them, and I want to fix this situation.
We all
And
want to
the
fix this, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for
happen
is
anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect.
Hit her, Ted. Hit her.
Yeah, Ted Cruz
Please
getting from the
respect
gotcha
it.
here. But and this is, Captain Paleo Christian over here, where I'm just like, migrant detention facilities. This is what happens when you cross the border illegally and things like this happen. We're not meant to, for thousands and thousands of kids going in at once. It's not what it's meant to be. Now, the thing is that Ted, I think, is exposing a hope, and hope doesn't really genuinely think, like, this is unacceptable. We need better facilities. Like, let's stop building facilities. Let's just start sending people back and getting people actually back to their families and getting back where they need to go. But I mean, yeah, this whole last 5 years that we've ever seen kids in cages at the border that Obama built, the cages, and you got people over here wrapped like baked potatoes, sleeping next to each other in the midst of a COVID pandemic, and eyes are nowhere to be found. The media is reporting zero on this. It doesn't matter anymore. AOC isn't fake crying anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sick. I am absolutely sick of it. And at my own, I'm absolutely sick. I can't deal with it. I can't deal. It makes me that mad. I get that angry about it. I gotta stop. I get that angry about it.
Well, it just makes me sad because it seems like they don't care about the welfare of these kids. Because I remember during the kids in cages thing, it was about, why are you separating families? Well, we're separating these kids that are potentially being trafficked, and they're with these adults that are their parents, or at least say they are. Or, like in some of the instances more recently, there are these kids that are running with their parents across the border, their mom, maybe a single mom, and she gets killed in, the journey. So where's your care for those people? We should be dealing with this before they even get to the border.
Yeah, this is just, and the Biden administration, when he had his wonderful press conference the other day, and they were asking him questions about it, he's like, well, I'll let you guys go down when the problem's fixed. Don't worry about it right now. Don't
Soon.
worry. We'll send you to a different one that's fine. Don't worry about these ones. We're being transparent. Don't worry about. There are a lot more ums and uhs and pauses in that, but I'm paraphrasing. So really, Joe Biden and the administration do not care about migrants. They do not care about that. At least, some Democrats and people on the left care, and they're just trying to be like humanitarian. I can at least respect that. Like, they care. These people are just saying it, and they're using you to vote for them. That's all it is. And Joe Biden and his administration make me sick. Everything they're doing. This woman in this video is a tool for the Democratic Party. So Republicans like Ted Cruz cannot actually report on this. Like, I thought they were saying that we were all against journalists and all against the media. Joe Biden's like, you can't go in there. Donald Trump brought them to the border. He's like, you guys want to see this wall I'm building? Like, come on now. Like, Democrats are just hypocrites at this point.
No. The media isn't the enemy of the people. Oh, QAnon conspiracy. Oh, the media's enemy of the people. Oh, like, media literally turns a blind eye, doesn't report on all these thousands of people crossing the border, hundreds of people being picked up, getting trafficked across. Not a word, but media isn't the enemy of the people. They're totally.
Well, and they're saying it's not. It's Trump's fault still, and Joe Biden's new policies have nothing to do with all these people coming to the border. When they literally interviewed a couple people, I think from the caravan, and they're like, "Yeah, we're coming for Joe. We heard he's cool. We heard we're going to get asylum. We heard we're going to get stimmies probably." So
I want a stimmy. They have Joe Biden flags. Like, they have the flag.
They were wearing shirts.
Who gave them these? Who gave?
No, that's a legitimate question, because somebody is giving them this.
Somebody not ordering it off Amazon. I promise you that. Like, it's somebody is like, and just like all of the videos of them, they all have their bracelets on. They're putting their makeup on before the cameras come. Like, I wonder who's George Soros is making this all happen. Like, this is obvious.
You said the GS word. Now we have to ban this live stream. It's not allowed to be streamed anymore. No conspiracy book ended stream. Sorry, this isn't Fox News. We still say it. You're allowed to say it.
You know what, y'all? I find it funny that Ted Cruz is the United States Senator, a federal office holder of Texas. This video was made in Texas, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So Texas, he doesn't run Texas, but he's the federal representative for Texas in the U.S. Senate. How in the world you can tell somebody, and this is a federal agency that is housing these people. So how in the world you can tell somebody that can really get you fired in some way, form, or fashion, that he can't report on what's happening in his state that he has to answer to in 2 years or 4 years? How can he do that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the thinking behind it. I don't understand any of it at this point. I honestly think we do need immigration reform. It needs to be heavy, but we don't need to be bringing in a whole bunch of people into the country with the snap of a finger. Immigration reform and border security would help.
Is COVID a serious issue or not? Because now all of a sudden these people aren't required to get COVID tested coming into this country. But we have to get COVID tested. We want to go fly on a plane across the states. These people coming from who knows where, carrying who knows what, doing who knows what with who knows who, and they don't have to get COVID tested and they can just come right on in the country. How does that make any sort of sense?
Well, and people in California are concerned because if they're coming up from the border and, let's say they're infected with COVID, or maybe 1 or 2 are, and then infect the rest of the population that are all moving into California, we're never going to reopen, like these ICUs, like the capacities are going to be super high, like forever. We just keep letting people in.
I don't get it. Pick one. Yeah,
I mean, these
COVID's
kids.
Serious, we've got to stop it, or just let everybody in and don't require a COVID test from them anymore. Pick one. Literally.
Well, and they're not like 6 feet apart when they're laying in those facilities, like the pictures I've seen, at least a few pictures.
No, they're all
They're not
laid up
wearing
right
masks. They're not doing anything.
They're like sardines in there. I mean, literally, they're on top of each other. Like, just like you guys said, is it serious or not? Like, what? You can't play both sides. Democrats do that. Democrats constantly have the goalposts. They're going like this, trying to like, which is it? Like, if COVID's not that serious, open up. And like even it, like then at least you're like staying logically consistent. Like if you're letting people into the country, if it is serious, we should have shut down the border. Trump wanted to build the wall; he would have saved us from more COVID. Like it makes no sense. No sense.
Well, and that's why they don't want the media reporting, because then people will be asking all these questions, and it doesn't go with their agenda.
Now I have a question. Didn't Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, didn't he shut down his border?
Yeah, I think
I can't.
It was like up until recently.
It's still
Oh,
closed.
still?
You can't go to Canada. It's only like what is it called? Travel and like trade. You can go, but I can't go to. And I live like 30 minutes from the bridge. I can't go across the bridge right now. It's closed.
So
only like truckers.
So if a super liberal like Trudeau can shut down his border, why can't we do that in America?
Because it's racist when we do it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like that's it.
America knows things.
Yeah,
it's only bad when slavery happens in America. It's only bad when slavery happens in America. It's only bad when indigenous people get conquered in America. It's not bad.
And Canada is more white than the U.S. Canada is like super white.
Yep.
How many black people you know went to Canada after the revolution? Not many.
Honestly, the news, they're just playing puppet with the left right now, and it's really ridiculous how hard the media went on Trump. And I'm actually like pretty for like the media being like hard hitting on politicians, hold them accountable. But now you can really see that it was all just a game. They don't care. They're not trying to hold anyone accountable. They lied about Trump excessively. And now with Joe Biden, he's up there talking about, give me a second, I'll get it. And he has this freaking notebook with all of the pictures on it with them circled. He's like, which one of you is Christine? Like, this is obviously the media does not care. Like, I'm getting mad. I'm getting very upset.
I mean, you should get mad. Someone needs to.
I get legit heated about this. People are like, why do you care about that more? Because Americans and Black Americans come second to illegal immigrants. That's why. And I'm tired of it. I'm fed up.
Why is college so expensive in California? Maybe because we have a state-run program that gives money to DACA kids. Like, I'm not saying they don't, like, some DACA kids don't deserve to go to college. Like, if you earn the grades, you should go. But, I mean, you're just getting money just because you're illegal. Like, whereas I'm in debt.
Don't ask my opinions on DACA. People, I have really unpopular opinions. I get really popular about this. I'm not a fan,
it's a back and forth. It sucks.
I'm not done. I'm not down with any of it. It's not right.
Yeah.
You gotta send them back. They all gotta go. They all gotta go. I'm sorry. They all gotta go.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say, if you don't follow the legal channels, send them back. Get them out of here. Like I'm for immigration. Bring the people who are waiting in line for 10 years, let them in, please. Like, as long as they aren't like terrorists or have any criminal records, like, please bring them in. I don't even care if they're poor. Like, they should have the option to have a better life if they're trying to go through the legal channels. But these kids that are prioritized just because their parents or themselves broke the law, they should not be rewarded for that and go to college. Like, we have Americans who are trying to go to college and can't afford it. We should take care of ourselves first.
You know, that's why we need immigration reform. I personally think.
But no one wants to fix it because they want it to be a talking point so they can get votes on either side. To be honest, like whatever, like what did
Republicans let
did a lot of good stuff, but what have we done?
Well, it's porous borders are still there. We haven't really, fortified it.
And and like there's also a problem with the path to citizenship too. Yeah, like why are people waiting 10 years to get citizenship?
Exactly.
Supports all the amnesty bills. That's why I don't like Lindsey Graham personally. Supports legal amnesty on the backside behind everybody's backs all the time. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. All the time. So no, I'm not a fan. Why? Because we're coming in second again. I don't like that. I really don't. I think it's
someone was actually saying, can you imagine how beneficial it would be to Mexico and their economy if you sent back all like the Mexican DACA kids like back to their country, college educated, Kind of an interesting thing to think about.
It's just
and also, why are all these kids and migrants and caravans coming up to the U.S. if we're such a horrible country? racist, whatever.
We're so racist that we will give you money to go to college if you're brown. Like, that's how racist of a country we live in. I'm so glad America's racist. If this is racism, continue. Please continue with all this racism because I can't handle it. Need more of this racism in the world. Maybe the rest of the world can learn from our racistness and start implementing this in, I guess.
Speaking of racism, y'all should really watch this new movie that's about to come on Amazon. It's about a family that moves into Compton when Compton was white, but it's twisted. It's like a version of Get Out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah, why come to this country if you really think it's racist? Why come to this country if you think especially you're coming into this country through red states, and you're probably going to stay there because you don't want to move so far, or you're not willing to travel so far because you're traveling on foot or in a bad car, if you're lucky to have a car. So honestly, why move there if you really think these people are crazy and horrible and terrible?
Yeah, y'all love Cuba and Venezuela so much. Go there. Go see how it is.
And then you can bring people from South America there. They can all go there. Turn that caravan around and go to Venezuela. Or let's maybe GS, I won't say his name, can buy some boats and start shipping them to Cuba. I mean, like, this all works. You guys can all be happy in a communist country because America is so racist and capitalist and it's evil.
Man. So gotta get off the border because your boy gets heated, get upset, get a little upset. But here's another thing that's good, like, you know what really grinds my gears is one of those things. That's another one thing. Just came out the other day. Lil Nas X. I'm gonna drop about it.
The devil, this Lucifer, this Exorcist, this all of that.
What happened to Old Town Road?
That's gone. That's done and past. Just like what happened to Hannah Montana, that's gone. It's Miley Cyrus. Same thing.
Came in like a wrecking ball. Christian, she came in like a wrecking ball.
It's gone. And so, so here's the bottom line here. Lil Nas X just dropped a music video called Montero, I believe. In the video, he is seen having sexual intercourse with Satan. I believe it says it's better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. And it's bad, demonic. Overall, it looks satanic. It's bad. I don't want to show any graphic images because I don't want to glorify. I don't want to promote it. I want to show images of this stuff going on. I think it's very, very bad. If you want to do it yourself, okay. I don't recommend it, but that's on you. And he's gotten a lot of blowback through conservative Twitter, just overall Twitter, Instagram, everything. People are really, just like eye-opened, like, wow, how could this happen? We're like, this has been going on for quite a bit. And then there's a shoe collab dropping, apparently with 1 drop of human blood, and they're only making 666 pairs, and they have Luke 10 through 18 on it. It's just bad. It's all right. It's just a bad news story. But my biggest concern here is that his audience is primarily children. From Old Town Road to now, it's primarily children as his audience. If that's what kids are watching now, we're in big trouble. I don't even know where to start. Anybody wants to hop in, feel free.
If that's what anybody is watching and listening to, we have been in trouble. And as everyone knows who's watching, who usually watches, I'm probably the more religious / spiritual person on this podcast, with me being the son of a bishop and a prophetess. But anyway, I'll say it to this, and I'm taking the spiritual perspective. Spirit of Antichrist is here, and that was proof of it. Apparently in the video, and this is what I've read on news articles, apparently in the video, Jesus dies, goes to heaven, and he gets on a stripper pole and goes down to hell, does whatever he does with Satan, cuts his horns off, and now he's the new Satan. What is going through this man's mind? Don't you know that and of course, if you're not religious at all, that's you. I'm just speaking from my own perspective. Again, opinion not for sale. So don't you know you're going to be judged for this one day? Don't you know you have to speak up and say why you did what the heck you did. Everyone does. So I don't know what's going on through this man's mind. I pray and hope, and I say this to everyone: as long as you have breath in your body and you're fully repentant, Jesus will forgive you of anything, because that's what I've read in my Bible. King James Version, by the way. But anyway, I just want to know what's going on through this man's mind. I want him to get help. I want him to find Jesus Christ. I want him to go apologize and help others find Jesus Christ. I know it's probably not going to happen, but that's my hope. It's my prayer. But kids watching this, adults watching this, the gay community has put their whole apparatus around this. They're saying that this is the best thing that has come down, because Christians saying we're going to hell and all of this other stuff. No, Christians are attesting to the truth. Christians are attesting to what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says. So what are you gonna do about it? Either you follow the religion or you don't. But don't praise this thing and demonize Christianity at the same time. My rant is over. Drop mic.
I'll give my point of view, just because I'm probably like not the opposite, but I'm not religious at all. And I've said this before. Since we've had kind of a religious point of view, my non-religious point of view, kind of take the religion out of it. I think that my only issue with this is that, yeah, he's saying that his biggest audience is kids, and I have a daughter. I would not let my child watch this. Like, who out of your right mind is letting your kids watch this? Like, yeah, I've listened to Lil Nas X. Everyone heard Old Town Road. He had a couple other songs, Rodeo. I like Rodeo. Fine music. That's fine. Like, even some of his other music videos I enjoyed. Those were fine. But this, I've not watched it. I've not heard the song, because I'm not really going to support that. That's not something I'm supportive of. The biggest hypocrisy I see on the left all the time is that they are perfectly fine making fun of and making a mockery of Christianity, but don't you dare say anything about Islam. If you say anything about Islam, then you are racist, you're Islamophobic, you're anything. And at least, if they just hated religion, I would at least respect them for that consistency. Like, you can make fun of both then. Draw Muhammad, do that in your music video. Like, make fun of both. I could at least respect that a little bit more. But it's just that you probably grew up, in a household where your parents wanted you to go to church. You rebelled. Now you probably live in like Berkeley or something. You have purple hair or something. That's probably what it is. You're bisexual, whatever. Like, that's completely fine. Do what you want to do if you're an adult. But if you let your kids watch this, like, you're a terrible parent. You should probably think about what you're doing. That's my rant. Don't let your kids watch this garbage.
I just think it kind of shows where our culture has gone. Because I would say I'm probably in the middle between Chris and Omar. Like, I was raised Catholic. I'm not, like, I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't really believe in the establishment of the church. But, I believe in God. And I'm just like, whatever people want to do, that's their business, I guess. But it just really, it's indicative of the culture. Like, things like WAP are okay. What Cardi B's doing. Like, you saw you might have seen some of the Grammys. I didn't watch it, but I saw bits and pieces. And they called it women's empowerment, and I don't really find that empowering. But yeah, I really don't know what to say. The shoe thing is kind of ridiculous. Where's the blood coming from? I tried to look into it.
It's not Lil Nas X.
Nike.
Is it?
The person that works for Nike. It's not like, this isn't promoted by Nike. They have nothing.
No, it's not a Nike thing.
But it's Lil Nas X's blood. That's whose blood
it's his.
It's his own blood. That's whose blood is going to be.
I guess that's better than
it's just like some kid or something.
No, it's not. It's a blood sacrifice. That is satanic.
Yeah, it's his.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I guess, but I don't know what to think about it.
Maddie, that's my normal reaction. When I hear something like that, I'm going to say, "Hey, it's satanic. It's the devil. I rebuke the devil." I was raised in the South. That's what we say.
I'm California. I'm kind of more live and let live, but I understand. It's getting to the point where, because I'm very live and let live, but it's getting to the point where it's like, the culture can only go back regress so far to where, what are we gonna do? Like, divorce is 50%. Like, people are being raised by single parents. People don't have parents. People are, just all these side effects from not. Yeah, it's just crazy.
They're good.
I don't know.
we let this stuff get put up on a pedestal, but let our kids watch this crap, and we let them close down our churches for over a year.
Yeah, in California, they still got to go outside.
Let them close our churches for this long. We let that stuff on TV, on the internet, on everywhere. We give them a pass. We let that happen, and then a Christian wants to speak up, and then we're the bad people. There's a lot of people that have had enough, and this is where they call the far right. Yeah, where do you think they came from? People got pushed that far, then they went off the deep end. That's what happens. You push people that far, they go off the deep end. This is what's going to happen. You keep doing this, you're going to create more of these people that you're so fearful of that you say, like, are the boogeyman that haunts you at night. And there are people that are really like that, but you will create them if you continue going down this path. They will be there.
Yeah, I mean, the attack on Christianity and most of religion, I guess, except for Islam, definitely, is here. And I'm hoping that, I think I've been seeing it more. Christians are starting to wake up to this kind of stuff, because I've heard a lot of Christians and Catholics say, like, it's none of our business. Like, politics in the church does not. Well, you know what? Someone needs to do something, because there's a lot of Christians out there that are pro-choice. And I don't think that is acceptable. So
no, there's so many. It's got progressivized. It's so progressive. Everything got so progressive. But the thing is, when we go to the church, the Bible stays constant. The Word of God is eternal, and that stuff doesn't change. But somehow people mold it into themselves. Oh well, this is what I do, and this is like, no, nobody cares about what you do. That's all we're asking here. If you're a Christian,
I get love thy neighbor. I get trying to accept people, but not to a fault where you're allowing evil to happen.
Oh gosh, no, we're here to call out sin. We're not here not about like, oh, you're hateful. This ain't nothing, man.
Yeah, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. I'm not in the position to judge anyone. But
sin is what we're supposed to be.
Maddie, I'm glad you brought up church and state, because the institution of church and state was to make sure, at least in the American perspective, it was to make sure no one denomination took over politics, because what ran Europe for thousands of years?
The Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah. So that was instituted so that no denomination actually takes over, or no other religion really takes over. That's why we have freedom of religion. But
I still think there should be separation. But
right, freedom of religion and separate. But the thing is, though, that never meant that the church, or church people, I should say, people with morals and values that answer to a higher power, should not be involved in government and making laws that are moral and have value. That was, we were never supposed to not be in politics. It was supposed to be like Church of God in Christ. That's probably the denomination I may be moving towards now. Church of God in Christ was never supposed to be just in power, making all the decisions. No, it's got to be Church of God in Christ, Catholics, Baptists, Judaism, all of them. That's what the founders originally intended. But they also intended for church people to make more laws and values.
Yeah, and I think, I hope Christians wake up and, realize that they need to get actively involved, or else there's not going to be any churches to go to.
Exactly.
It's going to be over pretty soon. Tragic, but yesterday, Uber Eats driver died in a carjacking. It's really, really bad. His name is Mohammed Anwar. He was a Pakistani immigrant. He was an Uber Eats driver, and two teenage girls, a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, hijacked his car, tased him, drove off, and crashed it and killed him in the crash. To my knowledge, they're being charged with murder. That they're going to be facing murder charges. And it's a horrific video to see, guys. It's really bad. You feel awful. And the biggest thing is the lack of regard for human life shown by the girls in the video. After doing all that in the car crashes, she wants to go back to the car. Oh, I forgot my phone. There's a man laying on the ground dead right by you. You don't care. These are 13 and 15-year-olds. How are they so desensitized from this type of stuff? When I was 13 years old, stealing a car? No, not at all. When I was 13 years old, man, what were we doing? I was playing sports, and I was in middle school just trying to figure my way through things. Kids now, I don't even know what's going on here. This is... I can't even, I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know. It's horrific. It's awful.
Christian, you said he's 13. The person that did this was 13.
Two girls, a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old.
Two girls.
There was
Not to fully divert, but just to show how where the culture is going and where kids are going these days. There was a 13-year-old who, with a 15-year-old friend of his, raped and killed the woman in Jackson. And then he claimed he was offending his mom's honor at this point, and he kills his father. So now he's got two homicide charges on him at 13 years old. What, and going back with this one, what is going on with the children of America?
Well, where are their
who's
parents?
raising them? Who's raising these kids? This is a big.
I mean, I'm
question.
not a parent. I'm not judging, but like, where are the parents?
I'm judging.
I'm a parent and I am judging. Where
I'm
are your
judging.
parents? Raise these children. What are you doing? Like, stop letting your kids run all over you. Get them off TikTok, off social media. Tell them to go play outside and spend time with your kids. Like, stop screwing every Mark, Steve, and Mary. This goes for men and women. Like, stop having so much sex. Settle down, find a person, and then have kids with them. It's like, stop having kids out of wedlock. I'm a hypocrite, but still, like,
yeah, but you're fixing it. You're fixing it.
There you go. Like, I'm with my partner. We've been together for years. Like, I've been with her forever. We have a daughter, and she's loved, and we spend time with her, and we make sure that, like, this is never gonna. Well, not gonna would, I hope she doesn't mug a Uber driver, but I'm gonna make sure that she doesn't do that kind of stuff, and like, spend time with your kids and raise them. Like, too many people, and this is like, I think one of the biggest problems in America, too many people rely on the government, like schools, to raise your kids. That's not what school is supposed to be for. You're supposed to raise your children. Too many parents are lazy. I think these kids, honestly, life in jail, no excuses. You killed a man, you bury him under the prison, and then somebody needs to find these parents, and they need something like neglect. They need something on their record because it is disgusting.
Oh, there's no way. Where are their parents at? How are they just around? Like, how could you love
Also, neither of them are driving age. Where did that come from?
And where'd they get a taser? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah,
like, we need taser reform. Like, common sense taser reform. This is what we need. This is ridiculous. How'd they get their hands on a taser?
Man, you can pick one of those up at the flea market. I don't know what type of one it was, but you can pick one of those crappy ones up at the flea market, at the gun show, wherever you want to go.
I mean, but at 13, 15, like, I wasn't buying tasers. I was playing video games. Like, I was trying to buy GTA. Like who's doing this? Like, who's doing this?
It's the culture is broken, beyond broken.
Is there an agenda? Like, why is the media not talking about this?
2 black girls, Asian, Southeast Asian.
Oh, are they
man,
black?
Pakistan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I feel like I did hear about this.
The video is like they're like blurred because it's hard to see what they are. But yeah, maybe it is just because they're black girls. And this goes against like the narrative. I swear to God, if this was 2 white boys and this was a black driver, oh my God, CNN, MSNBC, Joe Biden would make this a national holiday because it's really disgusting that it's only
hashtag stop race. Asian hate. What happened?
Yeah. Speaking of that, we're getting to the point that it's like Asian lives matter, Hispanic lives matter, Black lives matter.
Like all lives matter.
It's getting real close to what you guys were talking about. I thought it was just black people. No, it's now just BIPOC lives matter. We have to remember
because it used to be no lives mattered until Black lives matter. So Asian lives matter now, and all these other lives matter. That's interesting.
You know what? I want to make a point on that. I find it funny that the black community has embraced this, and a good many people haven't because not because they don't care about what actually happened, but because of the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Okay, black people have embraced this whole Asian Lives Matters thing, which their lives do matter. But where were they when they were talking about BLM? Where were these Asian folks when black folk were getting shot down? Where were they when they have a whole museum that in China calling black people not just N-words but freaking monkeys? They have a whole museum dedicated to that mess. I'm not with it. Now, yes, Asian people lives matter because they matter to God and Jesus Christ, and I'm called to love, and that's what I will do. But I'm not with this BS that is being circulated through the media and being circulated through culture. I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. My
Yeah,
rant
I mean, it's just sad because, like, you know, when you see people dying, I mean, maybe
That's
no one
sad.
sees it the way I do. It's death. It's an American that died. That's
Yeah.
that's what makes it sad. Not because it's someone of a certain color or of a certain community. It's like that's sad because it's sad. What happened to that?
I
That
do
man
have
lived the American dream, and he got it taken from him.
I do have a bit of good news to go with this. You know, with this story is that Anwar's GoFundMe is 5 times surpassed the goal. The goal was $100,000. They have raised $555,000 for his family. So that is really good news. 12,453 people donated to his well, actually, no, 15,000 people donated. So that really is like some good news that at least his family will be taken care of, because this is, like you said, Kristen, this is the American dream. He was probably just trying to take care of his family, trying to make ends meet. And then these 2 despicable young women, they're not even women, they're despicable young devils, wanted to come and murder him. Like, this is really disgusting. And I really hope that both of them get the full extent of the law pushed on them, because this is not excusable. There's no excuse for this.
At that age, you do know right from wrong. You know not to steal things, take things that aren't yours, and go off and do heinous things like that. They have no regard for human life. They know. They know. They can be tried, and I believe they will be. But, you know, we'll see how it goes in court. But they do know right from wrong.
I hope the family sees Uber, you know, honestly.
Oh, yeah, here's another thing. Uber has yet to tweet about it. Uber has said not one word about this.
That's ridiculous.
Uber has not said one word about this.
I know they're independent contractors, but Uber should at least pretend to care about some of their employees, especially ones that get
They tweeted
murdered.
every day for Stop Asian Hate. Look at this.
The only thing that was said from Uber is a spokesman said, "We are devastated by this tragic news, and our hearts go out to Muhammad's family during this difficult time. We're grateful the suspects have been arrested and thank the Metropolitan Police Department for their diligence with this investigation." That was from a spokesperson, so that wasn't on like their Twitter or their Facebook or anything like that. This is just probably a spokesperson that I'm reading this off TMZ, that TMZ probably reached out to Uber, and, you know, wanted to ask. But that, I mean, it's still ridiculous that Uber has not come out publicly and said anything.
They make a statement about everything else, whenever they want to capitalize on Black death or black pain or anything like that. They're the first ones to tweet about that. How about now?
Yeah, I get emails about
now?
what Uber's doing to support the Black community, and, you know, what are you doing to support this man and his family?
Yep.
If I'm Uber, I'm matching that donation on that GoFundMe. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on, I'm matching it at least.
I'd sue. I hope the family sues the crap out of Uber.
For what? I want to know what grounds are they
have-
Uber, is Uber allowing these folks to protect themselves? I don't know.
I don't think you're allowed to carry a gun as an Uber driver. I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
No, but also it is in DC, so that wouldn't have been allowed in the first place either, like that.
You can't carry
Sue DC.
at all.
Sue Mario.
Yeah,
so speaking of Mariel, here we go. See, this is what Mayor Muriel Bowser had to say this morning. You know, just how convenient of a tweet. Says, auto theft is a crime of opportunity. Follow these steps to reduce the risk of your vehicle becoming a target.
It's not a hate crime.
Remember the motto, protect your auto. You know, and she has the audacity to put a video out here talking about like how to keep your car safe and all these things. And literally, it just goes into victim blaming. We talk about victim blaming and talk about, here's 5 ways you can help reduce the opportunity for people to steal your car. Well, what a slap in the face. How disgusting is that? What a horrible human being.
Well, and what about like turning it, like the left took George Floyd's death and said, oh, it's a hate crime, like automatically, instantly. And the shooting that happened in Atlanta or Georgia, you know, it was a hate crime or whatever. Well, what if this was a hate crime?
Yeah, this is Middle Eastern. What if they
immigrant? What if they're anti-immigrant?
What if they yelled back a country before they did this? Like, honestly, like this. I am outraged that no one cares about this. Like, this is another, and the victim blaming is even more outrageous. Imagine if afterwards, let's say like a Georgia governor, let's say he tweeted out like 5 ways to make sure white people don't shoot up your business. Like, imagine if he tweeted that, or imagine if like some Republican tweeted out 5 ways to not get raped. Oh, the left would. Oh, they would never let that go because that is victim blaming.
Chris, if Brian Kemp were to tweet that out, he would definitely. Stacey Abrams will definitely become the governor in a couple of years.
That's exactly.
Definitely, there will be Republicans that, quote unquote, Republicans that will vote for Stacey at that point.
It's absolutely atrocious. Bad. Following up on the bad news here, I got a heartbreak. My alma mater, Grand Canyon University, made their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament this past Saturday. They played the Iowa Hawkeyes and lost a hard-fought battle. We're nothing but proud of them. Tuesday morning, tragically, back in my old home area, back in Lodi, star point guard Oscar Freyer died tragically in a car crash with his sister and significant other. And it's been a tough week, GCU people. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's 23 years old, fifth-year senior. He was getting his degree. He was done. And he was a great guy around campus. You know, we'd always see him walking by. He'd always smile. He'd come by the table, say, "What's up, Oscar? You want candy?" He'd just smile with that same smile and say, "I'm good today. I'm good, you know." And it hurts. The GCU family, everybody's behind it, and they talked about it on CBS with NCAA basketball. But it hurts, you know. Not gonna lie, it hurts, man. And things like this, just things are life's too short, and it's just really sad to see things like this happen. People like that just had the whole world in front of them, and you know, your mom's not supposed to be burying you. That's not how it's supposed to go. And that's just it's a shame, but I want to bring attention to that, man. Rest easy, Oscar, man. We love you. So I didn't bring that up, but man, you know, just heck of a week. If anybody's there watching, you want to ask some questions, feel free. Got a moment or two here before we hop off. But man, I'll tell you what, guys. It's Miami Beach right now is insane. They've declared a state of emergency here in the city. We're at an 8 p.m. curfew. They close off every major causeway at 10 p.m. every night. The last night I was trying to get back in, I was driving back at like 10:30 or so, and I got stopped car by car. I thought it was a DUI checkpoint. It was a checkpoint to make sure I lived in the beach so I could go back home. And spring breakers have kind of gone crazy out here. There's people running up tabs of $5,000, $10,000 and they're not paying and trying to run out and getting tackled by servers and busboys. And just recently, the cops finally got a few guys trying to run out. So that was the latest thing to happen. But it's overall, it's bedlam. It's totally crazy out here. And I can't wait till spring break's officially over and these people can go back because they don't live here and they're ruining things. Yeah, man, it really does, especially when you like actually physically met them. You know where they are. It hurts. It really hurts. Yeah, beyond belief. But yeah, no, Miami Beach. Don't come just yet. Wait a little longer. If you guys want to come out here, feel free to visit. Just wait a couple more weeks because these people have no regard for anything.
Well, Christian, think about it. They've been cooped up.
Oh, it's a mixture of things. You know, been cooped up with COVID, and then they finally say, "I'm getting my spring break. I'm doing my spring break now." Oh, and I got a stimulus check. I'm going to Miami Beach now, and that's what they all did. They all came out here from North Carolina, causing problems. North Carolina and all
Florida's open. They don't have crazy COVID rules. You know, you don't see people flooding to SoCal.
Well, we have crappy ones down here in Miami. You wouldn't believe it, but we're still we're on a midnight curfew out here still.
Yeah, because COVID, you can't get COVID after midnight.
No.
Yeah, COVID sleeps, guys. It needs its 8 hours. Don't worry.
No, I'm pretty sure Miami's probably less restricted than California, though. So.
I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, there's just people that do what they want. I hope there are people in California that do the same. But yeah, they literally, cops will crack down on the beach and literally shut places down at midnight and kick people out, which is awful. And I don't think they should be enforcing these draconian laws that are ruining people's livelihoods. But yet,
for every conservative that keeps posting back the blue, just saying, these are the cops you're backing. Like, maybe we shouldn't be so bootlicky and let's challenge the police and maybe say the institution is backing a corrupt and evil government. I mean, I'm just saying, like, conservatives, think about it.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. Are you familiar with the sort? What is his name? It was the kid that came in from Cuba on a boat. It was around Bush's election time.
Man, why are we bringing this up again?
No. I brought it up because he was talking about the police. when the police actually was on the side of true Americans that wanted the kid to come in and be with his family right then and there, who were American citizens, but they had to do what the other people said, and that.
I mean, in California, some cops are giving people fines for not wearing masks. So,
be skeptical of your government.
I wouldn't pay it. I'd take it to court, and then just.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I would never. I'd be like, okay, give me a ticket. I'm gonna rip it up. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and these are the cops that they're talking about trying to get cops to come to your home and take away your guns. The cops that are gonna cite you for not wearing a mask, those are the ones who are gonna come and take your guns. I mean, like you cannot. I just don't understand the small government conservatives. They're like, yeah, limited government, and then at the same token, they're like, all men who wear blue or all men and women who wear blue are heroes. Like, oh no, not really. Some of them are a-holes who are abusing their power and want to limit you. Like, I thought we're like, let's.
It's the left. It's the left that has pushed us here. Like years ago, I would never call myself a feminist. I call myself a feminist now because I realize that being pro-woman, there's a way to be pro-woman. The left is not doing that. So I think it's just like all these, BLM and the riots and saying we need to defund the police. That conservatives are like, okay, we love the police. Cool. Pick a
and
side.
I'm like, no, this is what the big people up in like the top of the tippity top.
That's what they're trying to do.
They want us to. This is all just a game. This is 4D chess. We're just pawns, guys. We're playing along to what they want. Like I just want to be left alone in my house and just let me grow my weed plants with my AR-15 and my gay neighbors. Yeah. Like, that's all I want to do. Like, leave me alone. Like that's my perfect world.
Man.
You should come to California.
No, that's a bad idea.
I'm okay on California. I'll stay on.
One day, maybe we should do. I want to do a debate on here one day, and we should get some people on, get some pro and anti-pot people, and then I want to moderate. Just see how that goes. I think
my friend in the comments, he would be down.
I will be here all day to talk about pro drugs all day.
Okay, I'm pro medical.
I'm pro have a good time. Enjoy.
Have a good time. Yeah, Chris over here. Hey man, I thought this was America.
I thought this was America. I can't smoke a plant. And I'm not saying I smoke weed because I actually am trying to live a healthier life. But if you want to have the right to do it, like smoke some weed. I don't care. Like it's not the government's job to say don't smoke weed. Like that's my biggest thing. Like I'm not advocating everyone to smoke weed. You should have the ability to smoke weed. You should be able to do that without being arrested.
We're not creating a good moral society.
Kamala would disagree.
Smoke pot all day, Chris, and become.
You can smoke weed on a Friday, enjoy yourself, and then live a good Monday to Friday life, work a 9 to 5. Just enjoy yourself. I mean, like I'm not saying like let's all have a drum circle and not have jobs. Like I'm saying like if you want to toke up now and again, do that. Like even if honestly, if you want to smoke 24/7, like that's your life. Like screw your life, I guess. I mean, like have a good time. Like do what you want to do. Not my business. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying that maybe we shouldn't be in fear of the government like raiding your house because you're growing some plants. Like I would say that's probably like not the type of America I want to live in. Personally.
Yeah, I was on campus at Florida Gulf Coast. I saw something, Chris, that kind of made me laugh. I know like you probably appreciate this. Actually, no, you probably wouldn't. This makes it a little bit funnier, actually. So, pull up here. It'll let me. Is it going to let me pull it up?
Is it the conservatives from Mars?
No. This is something where I'm like, oh, dude, every libertarian seeing this on campus must be so upset. Like, it's so funny. I mean, not really. It's like, it's cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. Like, it's not like a bad thing, but like, it's cringe. But it's just like kind of like one of those boomer-fied things. Like, here you go. Drive, bake, get busted. There you go. That's Florida. Department of DMV. Florida's DMV is putting this one out. Driving high is driving impaired, keeping everyone on the road in danger. But
geez, Florida's so cool on everything else. It's just that one thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't think because we haven't gone full woke on pot, and I like that. Honestly.
I think people that smoke and drive, I think that's really irresponsible and dangerous, and you shouldn't do it. But I when I drive to one of my schools, I see this sign on 75 that It's just like state cops going like this, and they're all like, "We're your last defense against drunk drivers." It's like, I don't think so. You guys just give me speeding tickets. Like I've
Uber
never
might
seen.
be.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not such a huge fan of like what you mentioned this a second ago, Christian. The DUI checkpoints completely unconstitutional. Those should not be allowed. 100% unconstitutional.
Well, it wasn't
Unlawful.
even a DUI checkpoint, because a DUI checkpoint, whatever, it was literally like, "Do you live here?"
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like, "No, I don't." Like, then you go into whole proper citizen. I'm just traveling. I have the right to travel.
I'm traveling. I have the right to travel. Leave me alone.
Do you think states should enforce their own borders though?
No, but the whole thing is, I think they get away with doing that because they declare a state of emergency in Miami Beach. So I think.
Oh yeah, I mean it's totally government.
Declare a state of emergency, throw the Constitution out the window. Like, oh, martial law, like throw everything else out the window.
Oh no, Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency last March by executive order, and we're still living it. So
insane. Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer continues to do it after the Supreme Court. Our Michigan Supreme Court said, "Hey, you can't actually do that," and she's like, "Guess what? I can," and everyone's still doing it. She's still doing it. She's still doing it.
I literally can't believe there's no recall effort that's gained traction in that state. That just blows my mind.
Michigan is like the Michigan GOP is not like very sure because
literally our GOP didn't start it. It was all grassroots.
Our Speaker of the House, I believe, Lee Chatfield, he is a Republican, and he said, "Oh, Democrats are the ones that impeach people, not Republicans." It's like, well, I feel like that's not a good.
No, this is different. They're impeaching Trump for no reason. This is a very good reason.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of
that. Republicans and conservatives, we don't cancel stuff the left does. Like, there's some things that need to be canceled. Like, that's part of
it's not cancellation. It's like you're actively trying to take away our rights. You know, when people diminish it to cancel.
People that crap on your existence and your religion and everything that you hold near and dear to your heart and your family. Why would you support them? Oh no, it's canceling. We can't cancel. I'm like, no, I probably wouldn't support Nike anymore. I probably wouldn't listen to Lil Nas X. I probably wouldn't listen to any words they have to say. Get rid of the Hollywood nasties out there. All of it. You know?
Yeah, like I don't think Lil Nas X should go to prison, but he's not violating my rights.
No, it's just like the free market. It's awful, and I think people that think the way that I should, or think the way that I do, I should say, think the way that I do, and value the things that I do, probably shouldn't listen to him anymore. Like that's simple. And if we all stop doing that, is it canceling? No, it's probably like our best interest at hand, like literally. So
yeah, it's putting your money and your time towards certain resources and taking them away from other resources. So
exactly.
No, it's really bad. So
yeah,
is my final thoughts on the whole matter there. Just smoke pot. Don't do that. It's bad for you. It's bad. It's bad.
My final thoughts: don't get arrested for pot. Whatever. Not saying you should smoke weed. You should be able to smoke weed and other. I'm pretty libertarian when it comes to that. So I'll go all left on that one. But maybe we'll host a debate or whatever. I'll read up on my drug knowledge and I'll be prepared.
Very interesting.
Well, everyone, I just wanted to explain why I haven't been on air for a little while, or live to say. I've had a rare case of pneumonia. We don't know how I contracted it, but I've had it since around Valentine's Day, and I went and I thought I was having food poisoning. I thought I was having panic attacks. Went to the hospital, and the hospital said, no, you have a bad case of pneumonia, and it's pretty bad. I was on antibiotics, pills, and the pills made me go into diabetic ketoacidosis. So I had to go to the hospital and stay there for about a week. It's drastically changed my life. It's changed my diet. It's changed everything. But I'm still standing. I was in the ICU for a week. I could have died, but by the grace of God, I didn't. I could have a tube in my stomach right now just for me to eat, and it was almost coming down to that point. But I'm just a testament. And a testimony. Right now, while I'm recovering, my recovery time is 2 to 3 months. Even some of the doctors on my team at that hospital even think it might go to 6. I don't know until they look at my results and tell me, obviously. But I'll be scaling back a little bit. I'll be on probably twice a month, just to let everyone know. But I am doing better. For all who have prayed for me, thank you. It really does work because I was in for it. I was a goner, but it turned around. So thank
Glad
you.
that you're back, man.
Yeah, we're glad you're back. Glad you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, man. That's glad to see you. Yeah, man. You're a bitch. But yeah, man. Natty, thank you so much for joining us. This is great. We got to definitely do this again.
Yeah, thanks for having
everybody.
me, you guys.
Of course. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, if you feel it in your hearts and you'd like to donate to help keep this show rolling, because while these thoughts that we have are not for sale and this show isn't, it does cost money to run this, and we could use your financial support. So if any of y'all feel it in your hearts, please message any one of us or the account on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Black Friday NFS, and we'll get with you and we'll make that happen. So thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.